This conference will now be recorded.
So in this today's session, like we are going to see about the what are all the different forms available in the Angular, and how to write the validations for the forms. What are all the important features of the Angular forms, guys? Basically, if you take any application, for example, whether it can be mobile application or like web application, so the forms are very very important, guys, because for example, if you want to log into the particular application, no, so we should capture the form data, like whatever the user is going to uh, log into the application, right? We need to get those user details. So forms are like, we can say forms are mainly like it's like a basic building blocks for the any kind of application, whether it can be web application or the mobile application. So in the Angular, mainly like we have the two kind of forms. We have two types of forms in Angular. So first one is template driven forms, and the second one is reactive forms. So basically, like in the interviews, no, like they will ask, have you worked with the, Angular forms in your project, or like, what kind of forms you have used? Or like, can you please explain me about the difference between the template-driven forms and the reactive forms? Like, they will ask these kind of questions in the interview. So in this today's session, no, like, I'll explain the creating the basic employee registration form by using the template driven forms, guys. First of all, like, we'll see, as we know that, so forms are mainly used to capture the data, right? So template driven, like, what will be the difference between the template driven and the reactive forms? So first, like, we'll see the template driven features of template driven. These forms are mainly these forms are mainly used for small kind of forms. Here, like, a small kind of forms means, like, for example, we have the login, or like we can consider it as a registration page. So I am saying, like, why I have mentioned small kind of forms is like the complexity. Like, the form complexity will be very less. Here, like in the login, like what will be having max, like will be having the mobile number and the password. Like we have the only two form controls. That's why, like, I'm saying, like, we can consider it as a easy easy like with respect to the structure wise. You can consider it as a structure wise. The form controls are form fields will be very less. So in those scenarios, like, we are going to start writing the Angular forms using the template driven concepts, like template driven forms. So we can consider it as a login form and the registration form. So, like, then what is meant by the complex forms? So complex forms is nothing but, like, we'll be having the lot of fields, and so whenever if we change the some value, like we need to do some kind of validation, or like we need to change the other input values, like, I'll explain, like, I'll show you with the examples, like, what is the easy forms, or like what is the complex forms. So if you want to create the forms which are similar to login or registration, so we are going to use the template driven forms concept. So next one is the next advantage is, like, it is easy to use. Compared to the reactive forms, template-driven forms are very easy, like with respect to the syntax or the, if you want to write the validations, it is very easy. So next feature was, like, we'll be using the data binding. We'll be using the data binding concept with ng model directive. We have already, like, we have seen the, how the ng model works, and like, how like, we are reading the data from the input fields. So we'll be using the data binding concept with the ng model in the template driven forms. And the next one was, like, So writing the we'll be writing the most of the code in template itself. I mean, here template is nothing but we can consider it as a HTML. So like the form fields or like the form validations, like we'll be writing the most of the time, like most of the code in the template itself. So we're not going to write much code in the component class, guys. So these are the different features of the template driven forms. So when it comes to the reactive forms, so reactive forms are so we are going to use with the complex forms. So complex is forms is, for example, I want to conduct a one kind of survey, so where I need to get the some information from the people. So here like the questions or the form structure will be it's in a complex mode. For example, if I have one radio button, if I select as a yes based on that yes answer, so I am going to show the another kind of like two different questions. If I select as a no, I'm going to show the other kind of questions. I mean, let us take like if you want to if you see the survey kind of forms, no. So in those complex scenarios, like we are going to use with the reactive forms, guys. I'll explain I'll explain with the sample examples. Don't worry. So for now, like you just concentrate on the template driven forms, guys. So like these are the different features of the template driven forms. Now like I'll show you like I'll take one employee registration form, and I'll show you like how to create the basic form, and how to read the values, and how to send the all the details to the server. Like I'll just create one sample form. So we are in the, we are like I was in the app component, right? So I'll create here itself only. So we don't have any other data here. So first what I'll take was like I'll take one div with the class name as a container. So this is a basic div, and a class like I'm using the class name as container. Here container is nothing but it is a bootstrap class. So we can consider it's a kind of box. Like we are going to make all the form fields inside that div. That's why like I have taken the div with the class name as a container. Now I want to create the employee registration form, or like the, for example, you are going to apply for the job. So you just want to fill the job application form. Like we can consider it as a job application form, where you need to provide the different fields like full name, phone number, email address, and the like. You are applying for the job, or like what will be the city. Like we are going to see the different form fields. So first, like I'll take the form element, guys. Basically, if you want to create the forms now, so we'll be using the form element. So it will be same like when it comes to the Angular JS or like the HTML. So Bootstrap, we take anything, no. So this tag is the basic tag, form tag. So we have opened, and I have closed the form tag. So now the first first input field will be the full name. For example, I'll take one more div with the class called form group. So here like I'll take the label for the form group. Label, I'll take it as a full name, and like the full name, no, like I want this should be a text box. So if you want to get the text box in the HTML, so we have the one element called input element. So input, so the type should be text, and I'll give that its name as a full name. I'm just giving the one more attribute called like name as a full name. For easily recognizing, or like if you want to know the like what kind of input field it is. So for this input also, like I'll give the one more class called like form control. So we'll see the output, like whether it is created or not. So the basic input field was created. Guys, like here the form group, I mean whatever the form group I have used, this is the bootstrap class, guys. This is a predefined bootstrap class, and this form control also. So let me remove this one. Let me remove this class, and we'll see like how it looks like. See, this is how, I mean, it will treat as a basic HTML input tag. I mean, to look some better, no, like for the styling purpose, like I'm using these classes, class form control. For example, if I remove this one also, I'll remove both form group, form control. This is how it displays. So if I use the form, I mean form group and form control, no, the I mean styling will be good. So it will comes like this. So I mean we have completed with the full name, right? Like I'll take the one more. I mean we'll take few more fields. Before that, like I'll take one h3 element here. H3, for example, I'll take it as a job application form. So now next I'll take it as a I mean phone number field. So same, we'll be having the form group label for the phone number. Like I'll give it as a phone number, and I'll give the input type as a text. So I'll give its name as a phone. So ID not required. If you want, we can give the unique ID also. And I'll add the class name also. Class equals to form control. So next, like I'll copy paste instead of typing. No, next I'll take the email. Email, and the type will be, I'll take it as an email field, and the name will be email. So we are done with the full name, phone number, email, and I want to. So we have covered the text boxes kind of thing. So I want to take one drop down value also. For example, I'll take div class form group. So a label is like, I mean position you are applying for. So for the drop down, like we should use the select tag. So I'll take the select tag. So inside the select, so we need to provide the different options because like we want to show it as a drop down value set. So that's why like inside select, like we'll be having the one more element called option. First option, like I'll give it as a, I mean please uh, sorry, please select interested area. So next option, like I'll take it as a Angular. I'll give its value as Angular. Angular developer. I'll take few more. Next, I'll take it as its value as Java. Java developer. So next, I'll take it as a DevOps. DevOps. And next, I'll take it as testing. So DevOps not comes under developer. So we are good with like full name, phone number, email ID, and the I mean on drop down. So we have the different values also. I'll make this as a position stuff. So next I'll take the one radio button also. Div class with the form group. So I'll take input type as a radio, and the name will be, I'll take it as a day, value weekday. I am taking this radio button for like whether it will be available for the weekday or weekend kind of thing. So I just want to choose any one of the value. That's why I'm taking the two radio button values. So I'll give it as a weekend, weekday, a weekend. So next we'll take one more form control called checkbox. Div class form group. So I'll take its input type as a checkbox. Input type checkbox. Name will be like relocate. I'll give its value as like, are you ready to relocate to HYD? Are you ready to relocate to HYD? So we have created the text box. Drop down radio button and the checkbox. Finally, I'll take on submit button. Guys, like if you want, we can add the other fields also. If you want, prefer location kind of thing, or if you want, you can add the more fields also. For now, I'll show the how these form fields are like ng model will works. So this will be enough. Now I'll take one button inside this form. Button, I'll give its name as a submit. So for this button, I'll use the one bootstrap class, btn primary. Okay, I'll use one more class like btn sm. I just want to make this button as a very small. Okay, yeah, good. So we are good with the form, guys. Next, my requirement was like we need to read the values from this form fields. And once we click on the submit button, no, I need to make one object, guys. Guys, any complexity until here? So this is the basic. We don't have much Angular also here. I just created the basic form with the Bootstrap classes, guys.
Sir, I have a doubt like why we mention here name for action, all these things, sir.
Where?
Like in the name day, name equal to like type name equal to full name. So in order to bind the data, sir.
Yeah. So basically, it is good practice. It is good practice to use the name attribute to the each input field. And one more thing, like whenever if you're going to use the ng model, no, ng model directive, no, like it is mandatory to have the name attribute. Then only ng model will works. I'll show you that thing. So if you
Yes,
want
sir.
to work with ng model, this name attribute will be mandatory. Otherwise, like it will throw the error in the console.
Yes, sir.
So this form action is nothing but like if you want to submit the form to the backend URL, no, so we'll be defining that particular backend URL here. So nowadays, like in the real time also, like we don't use this action in the Angular. So when it goes to the either JavaScript or jQuery, so we'll be using this action where we'll be specifying some URL. We need to submit this entire form data, like we'll be using the action and method, whether it is a post method or get method. So this is not required. I'll remove this one. So mainly action was useful to, to define the URL, like where we are going to submit this entire data to the backend.
For sir, one more label for.
A label for like we can give this one also. I mean, just like for getting this full names, no. So for example, I'll give it as a uh, full name here. So now basically, like, I mean, if we will be using this label for like whenever if you click on this label, no, it should automatically it should get focused here, but I don't know why it is not working. Or I'll give the, even though like if you give, or if, I mean, if you don't give also it will works. Uh, but the main idea behind this label was like, I mean, once if you click on this one, this label, no, automatically like it's mouse will be triggered to this text field.
Okay, sir. Got
ID
it.
equals to full name. We'll see now. See now, like I have just clicked on this one, no, full name, no. So automatically like it's get focused. Like, I mean, in these scenarios, like this label for will be useful. So if it want to work, means like we should define the idea. So then only like it is working.
Okay, got it, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay, now like we'll see the, I mean, data binding. Like, so once if you click on the submit button, now we need to capture all these details, right? So what I'll do is like I'll create the one object on employee kind of object, where like I'll be capturing all these details. So I'll take one employee object, employee obj. I'll take its type as any. You guys like try to create the one interface for this employee object, and try to I mean access the values. I mean, for now, like I'll be taking its interface, I mean type as any. Now like so whenever if you click on that submit button, now we should get the values, right? So I'll write one click method for the submit button. So I'll use the click method equals to, I'll write the function name as a get employee data. So inside this, like I just want to print the like whatever the data we have filled in the forms. Console.log employee object, like this dot employee object. So I mean, if you want to read the values from these form controls, no, so we'll be using the ng model directive. So whenever we are going to use the template driven forms, no, we'll be using the ng model directive, guys. So ng model is mainly useful for the two-way data binding. So I'll use the ng model for the all the form fields. Ng model. I'll give its name as a full name. Sorry, I mean, I need to capture this one to the employee object, right? So I just want to make the all this data to the employee object, right? I'll give it as a employee obj dot full name. Because I mean, why I'm giving like this means like instead of defining the like all the properties, no, full name, phone number, email ID in the TypeScript class, no, like I don't want to define all those properties here. In the real time, like we'll be having the more than like sometimes object will contain like more than 15 fields, so we can't define everything inside in that ES class. That's why like I have taken one employee object. So inside the employee object, once if you add that property, for example here I have given as a employee object dot full name, automatically this property will add, and once if I enter some data in this input field, that data will be assigned to the full name property. So similarly, like I'll take for other fields also. Ng model, employee object dot phone, ng model, employee object dot email, so I'll give its value as a position, employee object dot position. Ng model equals to employee object dot, I'll give it as a day. So I'll give the same for this second drop down also. So finally, like I'll use this one, employee object dot relocate. So we have added the ng model directive to the all the form fields. Now like we'll see like once if I hit on the submit button, like we'll see like whether we are getting the data or not. I'll enter as a Srinivas. Test dot, and position I'll select as a Java. I'll take it as a weekday, and I'll select this checkbox. Now I'll click on the submit button. Before I'm going to click, like I'll open the developer tools by using the F12. So we have some errors already. See, like here we can see like whenever if we use the if ng model is used within the form tag, either the name attribute must be set for the form control, or like must be defined in the standalone in ng model options. So I think we have missed the name attribute for the like few of the controls. Let me check once again. So we have not added here name equals to position. I think that's it. Yeah, now we are fine. So now I'll click on the submit button. Now we can see, we can see one object. So like we have the, all the values like whatever we have entered now. So we have this, position as Java, and day as I have selected as weekday, right? Email and the full name and phone number, and the relocation like I have selected as a checkbox, right? That's why like we got the its value as a true. Now I'll clear this one. I'll unselect and I'll change this one also. I'll select the testing weekend. I'll change the phone number. I'll give another name as a Venkat. Now I'll click on submit. So now we can see the entire object, like we got the full name, phone number, and the email. So in the real time also, no. So whenever like you people are going to work with for example, with the login forms or registration forms, no, this is how like will be writing the with the help of the template driven forms, guys. Like so in the template driven forms, like most of the time, like we'll be reading these input values by using the ng model directives. So this is the basic like reading the basic values. So next, no, like I'll show you like how to get the entire form values or like the form reference. For example, now I have taken this as a one object, right? One object here, right? So what now I'll do, I want to get the all the form fields. For example, I don't want to take this employee object, or once if I enter, no, I need to get the all the form fields. So we have for that, like we have one directive called the ng form. I'll show you. So we have the one directory called ng form. So this ng form directory will helps us to get the all the form information, like the what are the controls, and like each control, like whether this particular form was like valid or invalid, or whether it is touched, or like whether it is dirty. So we'll be getting all the values. Now I'll take I'll use this ng form. For example, I'll give uh, employee form equals to ng form. So here, like I'm using this ash symbol, right? Ash symbol, and I have given its name as employee form, right? So we'll be calling this as a template reference variable. So here the template is nothing but like we can consider it as a form is a one template element. I want to access all the data, like all the form data. So I'll be using this as the ash employee form. So we'll be calling this as a template reference variable. I mean, we can consider it as a one variable. So for that variable, I am assigning the ng form directive. So here ng form directive, what it does was like it will capture all the information. It will capture all the information about this form, like its form values, and we'll get those values, or like we can check the complete details of the form. Now, like I have assigned this employee form, right? I just want to print this one. Whatever the values I have entered, no, I just want to print whether I'm getting all the values from this form controls. For now, what I'll do is like I'll simply use the one interpolation technique, like employee form dot value. So I just want to get all the values inside the employee form. So now, okay, now like the form, like inside the form, so we are having the so many controls, right? That's why like it is representing as a object. If you want to read this one, no, if you want to read this object in a proper manner, no, so I'll be using the JSON pipe. So we have the concepts called pipes. So if you want to convert the data, like if you want to transfer the data from one form to another, no? For example, if I want to convert the text to lowercase or uppercase, if I want to use some currency symbol, like we have the concepts called pipes. So this is just a pipe symbol. So the pipe name I have given as a JSON. So like don't worry, like we are going to discuss the pipes concepts in the future. So I have saved, right? So now we can see like we have the empty object. We have the empty object, right? Now, for example, if I enter, if I am entering here, right? Now we can see like so automatically this full name is there, right? Like full name property was there, right? So automatically its value is getting updated. So by default the form value was empty. So once if I update here, no, I'll take So I mean, sometimes like if you don't want to create the, I mean, now I have created the employee object separately here, right? So employee object, and I'm giving ng model as employee object dot full name, phone number, like this, right? So sometimes like I don't want to I use this, I mean, external object, or like I just want to use the entire form value. So in those scenarios, like you can take this template reference variable and you can get the entire value and you can submit to the backend. For example, I'll change this, I mean, name field to, for example, name. We'll see what happens. See here if we observe, this form value, so this is taking, it's a name attributes, like whatever the name attributes we are defined, so all the data, like whatever we have, we are going to enter into the input form, that is going to assign to this name, like even though we are using this employee object dot full name, like it won't consider like so this form, this form ng form directive will take this, will store the all values, all values to this name attribute. For example, uh, here like I mean, I'll take this as a phone number, or like I'll change this name attribute to phone number. So now we can see like the, so whatever the name attribute we are going to have, so we will be storing these values to those name attributes, and we are getting the entire form data. I'll enter these fields also. I select DevOps, weekend. So we'll get like, I mean, I mean, without getting the submit button, or without clicking the submit button, no? So we are getting those all the data in the form itself only. So this is the, I mean, useful like whenever if you want to submit the entire form data to the backend. But sir, why should I go with, so in which scenarios I should go with this employee object? Means like, so you are taking these form fields, you are reading these input values from the form, and for this employee object, like if you want to add some other data, I mean, other data based on some conditions in the TypeScript class. So in those scenarios, you can create one employee object, and you can add other data to this one also. So you can add other data to this, and we can send this entire data to the backend. But most of the times, like in the real time scenarios, like we'll be creating this employee object, so it will be very flexible. So we can add some additional fields and we can send it to the server. So we'll be defining the one interface, and we'll be using this one only. So next, like I'll show you one more, I mean, one more. So now we are getting the entire form values, right? So now I want to get the each form control, I mean, each form field, its status, for example, whether this form was touched or not. So I just want to get this particular, I mean, I just want to get whether this name field was touched, or like for the validation purpose, whether this name field was filled or not. For that, no, like we can, here I am using the this template reference variable for the entire form. Now I can use for the, I mean, specific field also. Now I'll use here. So I'll take it as a emp name. So I just want to get this particular input field status, like whether it is touched, or I mean, what are all the classes available for this particular input. For example, now I'll print here. Uh, I'll take paragraph element. I'll use emp name dot class name. So we'll see what happens. See now, so I am using the class names, like so I have assigned one template reference variable to this input tag, and from this input tag I'm just checking like what are all the different classes added to this input form control. So now we see like for that we have the form control, right? We have the form control, and we have the ng, untouched, and these are the default, like these are the predefined classes. So based on these class names, like we are going to write the validations. For example, now I'll enter some data, Venkat. Now here we can see like this form is valid and this is dirty. Now, for example, I'll remove this one. Let me reload. So now here we can see like ng the before, like if I'm entering any value, no, you can see its class name is ng pristine. So once if I enter something, no, so now here also you can see ng untouched, right? Once if I enter, for example, some name, so automatically, so you can see like this pristine was changed to dirty. So by using this template reference variable concept, like we can get the, or like we can track the its complete status. So based on this template reference variable, or like based on this class names, no, we can easily write the validations, guys. So that's all about the template driven forms. I'll do one thing, like tomorrow we'll see the, like I'll show you the how to write the validations in the different scenarios, like how to show the user friendly messages, so whenever the form was invalid, or like how to show the toasters to the users. So I'll wind up the class today, until here.
Sir, I have one question, sir.